Hello everyone, welcome to my channel, Bachelor Nation News. Fans, The Bachelor's Kaity Biggar and Shallcross have tied the knot after sending a cryptic message to Bachelor Nation fans. The couple, who met and got engaged in Thailand during the season 23 finale of The Bachelor in 2023, married during a private ceremony in Texas. "We got married May 23rd, Kaity 30 said on the June 11th episode of the Bachelor Happy Hour podcast. "We just did like a cute little chapel celebration with our closest loved ones." Zach's parents and two younger sisters, as well as Katie's mom, aunt, and brother, were among the guests who helped the newlyweds mark the special occasion. "We kept it very intimate," Zach emphasized, "very private." The Bachelor alums initially planned to have a larger wedding, but ultimately, after touring venues and considering the investment involved, Kaity realized her vision had changed. "I just took a step back and I was like, I don't know if we need this. The whole point of a wedding is just staying true to the love and the connection of both of us. And I felt like I was honing in too much on little details, like, oh, well, my mom would like this, but these people would like that. And I think I was getting caught up in details, and then I was losing the whole premise of it." So they changed course, and with their loved ones as witnesses, including the person who inadvertently brought them together, they tied the knot in a small chapel near Austin. "My aunt, who was the one that nominated me for The Bachelor, she was the one who found this chapel that we ended up falling in love with," she revealed. "It was perfect." Shortly after the news of their marriage broke, the couple released a video from their nuptials, complete with their vows. "Kate, from the moment you stepped out of the limo and I looked into your eyes, those beautiful and unforgettable eyes, I knew something was different," Shallcross began, according to Bachelor Nation's behind-the-scenes video from the ceremony. "There was a spark, a calming sense that my life was about to change, and it did." The former Bachelor revealed, "Since the moment I met you, you've made everything more special, more meaningful, more exciting. But what means the most to me is that you love me for exactly who I am. Because of that, I've never felt more seen, more secure, and more sure of anything in my life. I thank God every day for the woman he put in my life, a woman who's thoughtful, caring for everyone, sweet with a little spice, hilarious, and too many other qualities to say right now. I'm lucky. I'm blessed to have you in front of me and be my wife. I didn't think it was possible in my lifetime to have a love like ours with a woman like you. God truly answered my prayers." Kate then said her vows. "Zach, today I don't just stand here as your wife, I stand here as your lifelong teammate, your biggest fan, and your best friend. Our love story has been anything but ordinary. It's been beautifully unexpected, perfectly imperfect, and uniquely ours. You have hands down been my greatest and most cherished adventure, and I can't wait to see where life takes us. If our beginning is any indication, we're in for one incredible ride. We use your sign-up to provide content in ways you've consented to and to improve our understanding of you. This may include adverts from us and third parties based on our understanding. You can unsubscribe at any time. Read our privacy policy." While the couple isn't sure whether a black tie celebration for their friends and family, as they initially planned to later this year, is on the cards, they are sure about taking a honeymoon. Currently, they're planning to travel to Italy in March 2026. "What we're excited about is planning our honeymoon," Zach said on the Bachelor Happy Hour, "because that's just us, celebrating that high of our wedding." Days before the wedding news, Kaity teased the nuptials during Instagram Q&A, saying that news would be coming sooner than fans expected. She wrote, "I would keep the eyes peeled this month." She also shared more about the wedding, saying, "No one from Bachelor Nation is coming actually, it's such a small wedding, so just immediate family."
Kaity Biggar and Shallcross marry after cryptic message. A 5,000-word creative and attractive story. The cryptic post that changed everything. The Bachelor Nation had long learned to read between the lines, but no one could have guessed that a single 7-word message would flip the entire fandom on its head. "Sometimes the best love stories are quiet," Kaity Biggar wrote in white cursive on a black background. No photo, no location tag, not even a mention of Shallcross. Fans scrolled past it initially, assuming it was just another inspirational quote or post-breakup piece. But within minutes, the sleuths noticed a subtle clue. Kaity had quietly archived dozens of pictures, save for one. The infamous one of her and Zach on the steps of the Bachelor mansion, locked in a forehead-to-forehead embrace, their silhouettes glowing under a California sunset. Suddenly, whispers turned into wildfire. Did they break up? Was she hinting at rekindled love? Or was she hiding the biggest Bachelor twist of the year? A love that survived the silence. Zach Shallcross had always been the safe Bachelor, clean-cut, kind-hearted, dependable. But his love story with Kaity was anything but predictable. The couple got engaged in the finale of The Bachelor Season 27. Their romance had faced doubt, long-distance stress, and social media scrutiny, but what the cameras never truly captured was what they fought hardest for: privacy. After the show ended, Kaity returned to Austin to continue her nursing career, while Zach juggled influencer deals, travel, and chasing his tech dreams in LA. Their relationship evolved quietly behind the scenes. No over-the-top Instagram posts, no clickbait podcast tours, just two people trying to build a normal relationship after a very public beginning. But with public quiet came public doubt. Fans speculated they were done. When Kaity stopped posting about Zach, tabloids claimed she was rebranding post-Bachelor. When Zach was spotted out with guy friends at a Miami club, headlines screamed, "Trouble in Paradise." But what none of them knew was that behind closed doors, Kaity and Zach were planning something nobody expected. The secret trip to Tofano. In May, months before the cryptic message, Kaity had taken a short, seemingly random trip to Tofano, a small coastal town in British Columbia. She posted only one photo, a rugged coastline with a fire pit and a caption that read, "Sometimes you just need to breathe." But what she didn't share, Zach had been there too. Far away from cameras, they'd spent 3 nights in a secluded Airbnb tucked behind a cedar forest, free from cell service and expectations. They cooked together, talked about everything and nothing. Zach apologized for pulling away during a particularly tough patch earlier in the year. Kaity cried about how overwhelming it had all become, the pressure to stay perfect, to smile when she felt lost. By the second night, they weren't the Bachelor couple anymore. They were just Zach and Kaity, two imperfect humans in love. And on the third morning, Kaity asked the question Zach had been quietly dreading for months. What if we just got married? No fanfare, no fuss. Zach froze, but his silence wasn't hesitation. It was shock, relief, joy. "I thought you'd never ask." Operation Disappearing Act. What followed was a masterclass in secrecy. Zach deleted his social media temporarily for mental health, a smart move that gave him an excuse to go dark. Kaity did the same, blaming burnout. Friends close to the couple were sworn to secrecy under non-disclosure agreements. Even Bachelor producers had no clue what was happening. They decided on an intimate wedding. No reality show cameras, no #sponsored wedding, just 30 people, handwritten vows, and an outdoor ceremony held in the Canadian Rockies, halfway between Kaity's hometown and their future life together. Kaity's dress was a vintage slip gown she found in a tiny Calgary boutique. Zach wore a navy suit his dad had worn at his own wedding. Instead of walking down a flowered aisle, Kaity walked through a pine-lined path to the sound of acoustic Coldplay. The officiant was Zach's college roommate. The cake was homemade by Kaity's aunt. Every moment was simple, sacred, and stunning. And after their first kiss as husband and wife, the couple whispered to each other, "Let's keep this ours just for a little longer." Bachelor Nation loses its mind. Kaity's cryptic message came 2 weeks later. Sometimes the best love stories are quiet. It was both a hint and a deflection, their way of acknowledging love without giving away the full truth. But Bachelor Nation? Not buying it. Reddit erupted with theories. She's pregnant. He cheated, and that's her way of taking the high road. They're still together. This is a soft launch of something big. Mark my words, they eloped. Twitter did what Twitter does best: panic, stan, overanalyze, and meme it to death. But the truth wouldn't break until a week later, and it came from an unlikely source.
Bachelor alum Charity Lawson posted an IG story from what appeared to be a wedding. The bride's back was turned, but the short blonde curls and dainty shoulder tattoo didn't lie. Kaity, in a wedding dress. The internet broke. Confirmation and chaos. Kaity finally confirmed the news via an exclusive People spread 2 days later. The headline? Yes, we're married. Bachelors Kaity Biggar and Zach Shallcross tie the knot in secret ceremony. The article featured a photo of Kaity and Zach barefoot in a field, champagne glasses in hand, grinning like teenagers. Her makeup was dewy, her veil was simple, and the joy in their eyes was unmistakable. We wanted to start our marriage the way we wanted to live it, Kaity said, quietly, intentionally, and just for us. Zach added, this wasn't a performance, it was a promise. Bachelor fans wept. Some cheered. Some accused them of robbing the fandom of a TV wedding, but most were just happy. After a franchise full of fake-outs, on-camera fights, and broken engagements, this felt real. A honeymoon unlike any other. Their honeymoon wasn't in Bora Bora or the Maldives. It was in a restored A-frame cabin in the Canadian wilderness. No TV, no social media, no agenda. They spent 10 days hiking, reading, cooking, and watching old DVDs. One night, during a thunderstorm, Kaity sat beside Zach in front of a fire and read the journal entries she'd written during their bachelor journey. Some were filled with heartbreak. Some were filled with hope. Zach did the same. They laughed, they cried. They reminded each other why it was all worth it. And when the storm passed, Zach kissed his forehead and said, let's grow old doing exactly this. Back to reality, kinda. When they finally returned to normal life, they weren't the same Zach and Kaity who had nervously signed up for a reality show. They were stronger, grounded. Kaity resumed her job as a nurse, taking shifts at a children's hospital and volunteering at a mental health center. Zach launched a podcast called Unscripted, where he talked about identity, masculinity, and the reality behind reality TV. They lived in Austin, but kept their place low-key. No mansion, no gated community, just a cozy townhouse with a golden retriever named Toast and a small garden Kaity obsessed over. They agreed on one thing from day one of marriage. Privacy is not secrecy, it's protection. The reunion that wasn't. When Bachelor producers asked them to return for the After the Final Rose segment of the next season, the answer was a polite but firm no. We'll support from afar, Zach said. Instead, they wrote a heartfelt letter to the new couple, offering advice that had gotten them through their toughest days. Ignore the noise. Prioritize the small things. Choose each other even when it's hard. Fans were disappointed, but they understood. This was a couple who had rewritten the rulebook, who had lived their love on their own terms, and that, somehow, made them even more legendary. The love story that wasn't loud, but lasted. In a franchise built on fantasy and drama, Kaity and Zach gave fans something rare, something quietly powerful. Not every love story needs a spotlight. Some love stories bloom in whispers, in tucked-away cabins, in forests and thunderstorms, and forehead kisses by firelight. Years later, when asked what her favorite moment of their wedding day was, Kaity smiled and said, "It was when Zach forgot his lines and just said, 'I love you and I always will.' That was it. That's what marriage is to me. Honest, messy, true." And Zach. He looked at her, eyes soft and steady, and added, "And somehow, even better than the fairy tale."